Hello there, Brick Fanatics. I am here in the Natural History Museum in London to celebrate the release of the LEGO Natural History Museum, which is coming on December the 1st. I have here the lovely curator of the museum. We had the opportunity to sleep in the museum overnight and get the full night at the museum experience, and it has been absolutely spectacular. Thanks to colonialism and downright theft, the City of London is home to some of the most incredible museums on planet Earth, but none shine quite as brightly as the Natural History Museum in South Kensington. Originally opened in 1881, this is one of 3 museums to be found on Exhibition Road, along with the Science Museum, which has rockets and stuff, and the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is boring if you're under the age of 18. Marvel fans may recognise the Natural History Museum as the building that Cersei enters at the start of the Eternals, but you also might not recognise it because many Marvel fans have simply blocked that entire 2 hours and 37 minutes from their memory. Regardless of all of the museums on Exhibition Road, the Natural History Museum is by far the coolest because, well, dinosaurs. But also there's some neat stuff about volcanoes and earthquakes, lots of pretty sparkly gems, and an absolutely enormous collection of taxidermy animals. The Natural History Museum regularly hosts these Dino-Snores events, both for children and for grown-ups, but this event was something a little different. This was in celebration of the release of LEGO 10326 Natural History Museum, the latest in the popular modular buildings collection, which will release on December 1st. Be sure to check out our interview with the set's designer, Chris McVeigh, to learn more about how it got made. While these sleepovers usually have a capacity of 300 adults or 500 children and parents, the LEGO Group sleepover event had maybe 30 guests total, which meant an almost entirely empty building. Just us, a few other guests, the staff, and millions of animal ghosts. The bad news is that no matter how hard we tried, we couldn't convince the exhibits to come to life, and there wasn't a single Owen Wilson or Robin Williams in sight. Even the Darwin statue stubbornly refused to move. The good news is that the food was pretty decent. The first activity on the itinerary was dinner, and we were treated to a 3-course meal in the TRex Cafe. What you got there, Chris?
I genuinely can't remember what I've ordered, so...
Brilliant.
Looks tasty. It looks good though.
Yeah. They told us the meat option was beef, but in a museum that's constantly researching animals from across the globe, you can't be completely sure about these things. Then it was on to the Titanosaur exhibit for a special building event.
So welcome to Titanosaur. This is the largest mammal to ever walk the Earth.
No. The Titanosaur was definitely not a mammal, but it was a pretty big long-necked dinosaur, which is fitting given the inclusion of the brick-built Brachiosaur within the LEGO Natural History Museum. More on that later. First, our building activity. We warmed up with a little Creationary, standard stuff. We had to guess what each other were making out of Lego bricks. All of the words were animals from across the museum, and much to my chagrin, none of them were the giant sloth, no matter how many times I guessed that. Next, we all created our own ideal exhibits for our perfect LEGO Natural History Museum. It felt a bit sacrilegious pulling random bags out of the museum box and making our own creations, but hey, that was the activity. The staff opened up the Natural History Museum box, we rifled through to find the parts we liked, and that particular copy of the set never succeeded in fulfilling its destiny as a completed model. What you got there, Chris?
I have got what I am calling a disaster. This was originally a T-Rex, now it's a flying T-Rex that is on its side.
The lesser spotted flying T-Rex, one of the archaeological wonders of the world.
That's the one, but
So
it's got his egg.
Oh, very good. That means scientists can grow new ones as well.
That's the way.
That's how eggs work, right? They just stay fresh forever.
Absolutely.
If that's not the case, it explains the state of my omelets.
Absolutely, we've got this dude taking a photo, but he's been there so long he's turned to stone.
Wow.
Man, look at that. What's this thing here?
It's a dinosaur on roller skates.
Of course it is.
Chris wasn't the only one pleased with his creation. It got singled out when we all brought our works together for a show and tell.
So that's it there, kind of flying through the air. Also, excellent parts usage. The T-Rex's tail, from what I can tell, is a banana. So that's some proper master builder thinkery there.
There you go, Chris is officially a master builder. Some guy at a museum said so it must be true. Next up, in honour of all things Jurassic and every other era of evolution, it was time to hold some weird animals. I mean, they weren't that weird. Geckos and snails and spiders, oh my.
So everybody, we're actually going to be learning lots about my animals today. We'll learn about their habitats, where they come from, what they eat, and of course we're going to be linking this to dinosaurs as well. So everyone, first of all, can anyone tell me what dinosaur actually means? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Yes?
Terrible lizard?
You're right, terrible lizard. I'm talking about terrible lizards. Let's meet my cheeky little lizard. Actually, he's a beautiful little leopard gecko. I'm going to get him out. He's actually called Gilly the gecko. Should we meet him? Let's meet him.
Hello. What's this guy's name again, sorry?
Turbo, the giant African land snail.
Turbo, the giant African land snail. Content warning, if you don't want to see a tarantula, skip ahead 10 seconds. You've been warned. 3, 2, 1. We weren't allowed to hold the tarantula, although we were assured that if she did bite us, it wouldn't be fatal. It'd just feel like a particularly bad bee sting and give us a headache for 3 days. Oh, and the spikes on her back feel like stinging nettles for 3 weeks. Maybe not touching that one was for the best. Can I have him in my hand?
Of course you can, yeah. There you are. Oh, it's very sticky, where he sticks. There we go.
Look at you. Hello. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I used to work with a rubber boa, and this one is maybe about 3 times as big as him, and yeah, the power on him as well. I mean, it's incredible. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Did you say where you got it?
This one come from the RSPCA. Okay. Yeah, so he come from the RSPCA. Gecko come from Jelly Exotics.
While we as a team may have done well with the building challenge and knowing what the word dinosaur means, we did less well with the next activity, a pub quiz. We did alright with the questions about Lego, but didn't do too great with the chicken or fish round, in which we had to guess whether an oddly named animal was indeed a breed of chicken or a species of fish. Oh well, we're brick fanatics, not fish fanatics. After the pub quiz, it was time to be serenaded by a harpist who, among other things, played, you guessed it, Everything is Awesome from the Lego Movie. Of course. With all this going on, the Lego Museum model was right there. I figured I'd show it off a little bit more for the camera, and I must have been doing a good job because this security guard walked all the way across the main hall to ask me about it. The Natural History Museum is an absolutely beautiful building. It really feels like a cathedral to the natural world. Walking around it alone at night does make a bespectacled fella feel like an old balding Harry Potter sneaking out of the Gryffindor common room to have dinosaur-themed adventures. Sleep was relatively comfortable, all things considered. While most Dino-Snore guests get just a thin mattress to sleep on, there were so few of us that we were treated to slightly more squishy camp beds. Lights went out at 1 AM, but good luck getting to sleep after that. At 3 AM, as you're looking up at the building's incredible ceiling, it's hard not to wonder, just how strong are the ropes holding up that whale skeleton? They wouldn't inadvertently snap, right now, would they? Would they? Maybe that's why the skeleton is called Hope, as in, I hope this doesn't cause a lawsuit. As the sun rose and morning came, we were awoken to A, the spotlights coming back on across the hall, and B, the Jurassic Park soundtrack, played through the speaker system. The main theme, thankfully, not the track titled The Raptor Attack. That would have been a very different wake-up call. Then it was time for a full English breakfast, before we were let loose to explore a bit more widely before the museum opened to the public, which led to a Lego challenge we set ourselves. The Lego Natural History Museum is not based off a single specific museum, but there are certain elements that it borrows from a bunch of different museums from around the world. So that being the case, what we're going to do is explore some of the exhibits at the real Natural History Museum and see how well we can match them up with some of the exhibits from the Lego Natural History Museum. Fingers crossed we'll be able to find a particularly good match for the wonderful brick-built brachiosaur. At 9 AM, our time in the museum came to a close, although it wasn't nearly enough time to fully appreciate everything on display. Nor was it enough time to truly drink in the LEGO Natural History Museum. As far as promotional events for the release of a LEGO set go, this one certainly was a fantastic, once-in-a-lifetime treat. Although it does make one wonder if the LEGO Group will try something similar for the Dune LEGO set. Who's up for a trip to the desert? This then was our night sleeping in the Natural History Museum, and this was the LEGO Natural History Museum. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on this whole video in the comments. Also make sure that if you are going to purchase the Natural History Museum, or any other LEGO set for that matter, you use our QR code which is on screen, or the affiliate link which is down in the description. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure that you go to brickfanatics.com for all of your LEGO news and sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything LEGO ever again. Thank you for watching.